serialization. When you have that data in a particular object format, we are going to use serialization. If you are supposed to generate the message, it is not in a particular object format. Now the data is not in any particular format which we have. We are supposed to generate the format. Then we will go for JSON generating. Okay. Now let us go to the next concept, JSON parser. How do you parse the data? In case if someone has given you JSON data, JSON string, how do you serialize and use it? Now in the last class we have seen how to convert the object in the form of JSON string. Now we are trying to understand how to deserialize it dynamically. Now I am getting a lot of data. I am getting a lot of information. When you are getting a lot of information, out of that, I want only a particular field. Then why should I serialize? Now we are getting a data. Now there is no format mapping with the data for me. Now if you want to serialize, what is the first thing that we need to do? If you want to serialize, what is the format we are using? We are using deserializer, JSON dot serialize JSON string am I right? Now if you don't have any specific apex type which is mapping your data, the string is not in any one of the apex type, then what will you do? If you know it is in the form of integer, you are converting. If you know it is in the form of student, you are converting. If you know it is in the form of list of account, you are converting. But I am not sure what format the data is. I don't have any predefined apex class which is specifying the data format. Then we went to JSON, deserialize and type. If you don't have any format, we are using JSON, deserialize and type. This is the format what we are giving. Very good. But the issue is, I don't want entire data. In the entire data, I want only 2 fields. Then why should I convert entire data? Why should I store entire data? I am not looking for the entire data. I am looking for a particular keyword. Let me give you, let us see. Now, I am going for, let us say, now we got the data. This is the response what I received. When you convert, you can convert this entire data. But I don't want entire all the attributes. I want only object names. I want only object name. Then why you want to convert entire data? You don't want entire data to be in a specific format. You are getting the data. I am not going to use entire data. I am going to use only name field in this data. Then why should I go for converting into a specific format? Then I will go for dynamic deserialization. I will break the data. I will take what I need from it. I will break the data, I will take what I need from it. I will take the data, I'll break the data, I will take. If it is success, take this message. If it is failure, get me the code. If it is success, get me the ID of the record. If it is failure, get me the error message. So dynamically, as per my need, I want to take the data or some of the fields from this data. Then I will go for what? JSON parser. Deserializing the data dynamically. Deserializing the data dynamically. I hope I'm clear with this. Okay. Now let us go for an example. Basically, what this deserialization will do, let me make it simple. If I have a data like this, we have a data like this. So we are breaking the data. Your deserialization will break the data like this. It will break the data into tokens. Floor bracket is a token. Name is a token. Satish is a token. City is a token. Hyderabad, floor bracket. It will break the data. It will break the data into number of tokens. Now, what is the format of the token? When you look at the token, it says start object, field name, value string, field name, value string, end object. Right. Let us see what type of tokens we have. Let us see what type of tokens we have. Ishwant. Token. We have a different types of tokens what we have. So look at this. All these are the names of the token. What is it? End array, end object, field name, not available, start array, start object, value embedded, value false, value null. All these are what? Type of token. So JSON token dot start object, JSON token dot end object, JSON token dot start array. So we know what type of token is this. Coming to the value, okay, value string, value number int, value number float, value null, value false. The format what it is going to give. So value is going to be true, okay, value true, string, number, float, null, false. These are the tokens what we have. So let us take the data, understand this deserialization. I hope you got an idea what we are trying to convey. Break the data into number of tokens, identify what type of token is that. So we have public, of income object, public. I will club both the examples what we have done yesterday so that it can be a revision for you. So what I'm taking, system dot JSON How do you convert? JSON dot JP dot, right, start objects. Then we are giving JSON string equal to JP dot get test. In between, we are trying to write JP dot right. I'm just putting some values here. Marks JP dot write dot array JP dot write end array. Then I'm giving JP dot overwrite number. This is how we have created. Now this is a constructor using which we are creating a JSON. Now this I was supposed to deserialize it. How do you deserialize it? Listen to the format. System dot JSON parser equal to JSON dot generate is not create parser. What is the string you want to deserialize? Whatever the JSON string we got, that we want to deserialize. Then we are taking while what is the map we got? Map equal to while JP dot next token. While next token is not equal to get the token. So what I'm doing, JP get the token. Map dot put. How do you put? Put JP dot get text. JP dot get the current token. Create parser. Okay. So we want to get JS dot get current token. So current token is the value. Current token is the value and get text. When you say get text, what will happen? Floor bracket is a text. Token is JSON token. Start object is a token. Name is the text. Okay. JSON token JSON token, field name is the token. So text format is key, token is the value. So let's go for a VF page. Did you get this point? We took a parser, one by one token we are taking and we are putting in the map. What is the token? What is the format of the text? Then we have value equal to the value. So let us go to this view. Okay. Shalom. So I can give this as a string. I'll append as a string. Okay. So initially, what was the bug? We are expecting output without clicking the button. What was that? What was that? It's a method. So how we want to call the method? I want this method to be automatically loaded when the page loads. When the page is loaded, I want this method to be invoked. So I have given get data. Go back. So this is how data is broken down into tokens. Now text format is done. Then what is a token? Value number integer. 20 value number integer. Date value number integer. Are you clear about this? Date value string. 30 age field name. Date of birth. Date of joining field name. I hope you are good with this one. Breaking the data into number of tokens. Breaking the data into number of tokens and understanding the format of the token. Parser will break the data into tokens. This is how we are going to get it. I hope you are good with this. Right. Next example. What I want to do is I want to take the data. I want to take the data which is whose field name is name. I want to take the data whose field name is name. I want to take the data whose field name is age. I want to read a particular field value. Now, let me give you an example. Let us assume we have a response in this format. Let us take one sample response. This is a sample response. I am taking the sample response. Now, if you make a web service, they are going to send the type of response. Now, I am giving here.
Satish, I have a doubt before proceeding the new topics.
Go ahead.
Yeah, for deserialization, you're talking about the token, right? So I'm not getting, like, you're deserializing and then you wrote that syntax while token not equal to null. I didn't get that part, Satish. Could you please explain?
What do you mean by a token? Smallest unit is nothing but a token. Smallest unit is nothing but a token. You are going with the development class. What is the first topic that we have seen? Lexical token. Group of lexicals which make a meaningful words. Now when I got the data, I broke them into number of segments. Each segment is called token here. Now tell me, how can you break this? I can break this as each one is called token. Each one is called token. So what type of token is this? Now you are giving. How do you break them? Now what type of token is this? 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 Similarly, what type of token is this? 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 Right? When you break them, this is a statement, you are breaking them. Integer is one token, age is one token, equal to is one token, 10 is one token. What type of token is this? Data type. What type of token is this? Identifier. What type of token is this? Operator. What type of token is this? Constant. Similarly, this is the data. We broke them into a number of segments. Each segment is one token. What type of token is this? Start object, field name, value string, end object. This is what we are trying to do this. Right? Right, boss? So when you say js.getText, floor bracket. Token is what? Start object. Next, getText means what? Next token. When you say jv.getText, next token is field name. What is the value? What is this? Field. What is this? Name. What type of token is this? Field name. Satish. GetText is Satish. What type of token is this? Value string. Right? I hope you are good with this. Everyone is good. The JSON what we have, that we broke into a number of segments. Each segment is called a token. Each segment is called a token. I hope everyone is good. Right, boss? Now, get token. So what I'm going to do? System dot JSON parser. Parser. Now, do you want to take entire data? I don't want to take entire data. I want to take only access token. I want to take only access token. Out of the data what we are getting, in the data what they are giving, in the data there is a field name called access token. There is a field name called access token. I was supposed to get that access token. I was supposed to get that access token. Let us see how to get that access token. While jp dot next token. When you say jp dot next token, what happened? Cursor will go to next token. Cursor will go to next token. If next token is not equal to null, check if jp dot get text equal to what is the value you want to retrieve. In this response, we want to retrieve access. Get text equal to access token. Get me the value of the field whose name is access token. Now the cursor is at what location? jp dot get text means cursor is at access token. But where is the value? Now if I give, now it is access token. If the cursor is now, cursor is here. What is this? jp. When I say jp dot get text access token. Okay. Now you want to get the value. Where is the value? Value is in the next location. Right now I'm at this location. My current token is access token. If I want to get the value, if the current token is access token, then move the cursor to next location, get the value. So how do you move? jp dot. When I say jp dot next, what happened? From the current token, it is moving to the next location. Now get the value. Now what is the value? This is the value. Let us go to this. jp dot. We have access token equal to jp dot. This is how we have taken. Let me show it on the UI.
So what is the access token?
There is a name. Now you have taken a string. What is this name? What is this name? It is a field name. What is the dish? It's a value. So similarly, what they have given? What is this access token? Name. So value they have given. What is it? Value. Right? Now I told I have a data like this. In this, what are the field names? They have ID, issued at, refresh token, instant URL, signature, access token. This is the data they are giving. Out of that, I want to take only value of access token. What is that access token? Doesn't matter to us. They have sent a JSON in the name value pair. I want to get the value of the element whose name is access token. Right, boss? I hope you are clear. They have sent me a JSON in the name value pair. I want to read the element whose name is access token. Now, So we are going to take so go back. Get, what was that? Okay. Get token. So have a preview. Some response they're giving, some request they made, they got this response. In that response, I want to get the access token. What was this? The JSON token is bug with the token. That we rectify the token format. There is some backslash. Look at this. Should okay. Okay. What was this? Has to be escaped with the backslash, including the string input location. And number 7. JP dot next token not equal to null if current text equal to access token. Breakage should be given with the backslash. So what was the bug in the previous case? If you are breaking into next line, you are supposed to give slash, backslash you are supposed to give. Okay. So what happened now? In this entire data, what we received? Access. We have a data. From the data, we are reading the value of a particular name called access token. I hope you are clear. Okay. Now, let us take the next example. Write the code for this, everyone. I have a data like this. get me all the elements whose values are, whose token is integer. Get me all the, get me all the elements whose token is integer. Whose token is integer. So whose token is integer means what is the format we need to check? Value, number. If the current element token is value, number, int, get the value. Get the value. Now, if you want to read the value as an integer, what should I do? jp dot get integer value. This is after you verify that token is a integer, get the token as a integer value. Get the token as a integer value. When you say get text, we are getting the token in the form of text. When you say get integer value, we are going to get the token in the form of integer. We are going to get the token in the form of integer. Now let us take the quick example here.
Satish, can you explain the code again of sixth example? Like what is the next token? Why next token not equals to null?
Boss, I have taken the tokens in this format. Now, this is the now what is jp dot next? jp dot next token. First time when I call jp dot next token, what is the value we are going to get? What is the value we are going to get? The first one. Is it equal to first? What? Where is the value? JP is initially everything will start with -1. JP dot next token is what? Start object. Is it equal to null? It is at -1. JP dot next token means first element. Is it equal to null? Is it equal to null? It is not equal to null. If it is not equal to null, what I am doing? Writing a logic. If JP dot get text equal to token is not null. If token is not null, check what type of value is this. Is it equal to access token? Is it equal to access token? First element is start object. It is not equal to access token. So what happened? Goes to the next. What is the next token? Next token is right name. Now JP dot gets token. What is the token? Is it equal to null? Next token is equal to null? No. What is get text? Name. Name. Is it equal to access token? No. Then again, while JP dot next token, what is that? Satish. What is that? JSON token, value string. Is it equal to access token? No. That's how we are checking. When you go to the last, now cursor is here. JP dot next token. What is next token? There is nothing. Null. What will happen? Loop will stop. This is how we are taking the loop. So what I am asking you to do, while JP dot this is what I ask you to do. What is JP? -1. Now what are the tokens we had? Break them into tokens. Right. Next token. Is it equal to null? Not equal to null. Then run the logic. Completed. Next token. Next token. Equal to null? No. Run the logic. Next token. Next token. Next token. Next token. Next token is null. Stop the operation. Right, boss? Am I clear?
Yes, yes.
Now, write the code. So I have my JSON string is in this format. This is my JSON string. In the JSON string, what you want to do? Take all the integer values and give the integer values. In the JSON string, I want to take only integer values. I don't want entire data. I want only integer values. Then how do you do it? System dot JSON parser. JSON parser. Then what I'm doing? While jp dot not equal to here we are taking age is equal to new list of. We need to compare every token. If jp dot get current token, if the current token equal to JSON string value integer. If the current token equal to this, then get the value. How do you get the value? Integer a equal to integer of jp dot get integer value. Get integer value. Get the value in the form of integer. Get the current token value in the form of integer. Then what you are supposed to do? You just dot add. If the current token is if the current token is integer, get the value in the form of integer. Get the value in the form of integer. If the current token is integer, get the value in the form of integer. Get the value in the form of integer, add it to the list. So we are taking a specific data out of the JSON. We don't want entire data. We want to take a specific data. We don't want to take entire data. We want to take a specific data. Everyone is good with this example. If the current token is integer, get the values. Are you clear about this? So we can go with the field name. We can go with the value. We can get the value based on the field name. We can also get the value based on the value. If value is a string, value is an integer, value is a decimal, value is an ID, get the data. I hope you are good with this, right, Amma? Everyone is good. Let me run this example. No need of reading a VF page again. Public age is equal to system dot debug. Okay. J dot ages execute. This is how we got 10,000, 30, 10, 20. Are you getting my point here? This is how we are getting the value. Let us take the next one. Let us take the next one. Everyone is good with this example? Now, let us go to the next example. I want to read the data in the form of an object. If data is available to you in the form of object, how do you read that? If I'm right, I have created a student object. Public string public JSON example. So I'm giving here JSON string. Now ACC name Pro industry this is the data what I had. Now I want to read the value of ACC. The value of ACC is in which format? The value of ACC is in which format? It is in the form of object. So how to read the value of an object? How to read the value of an object? How to read the value of an object? So let us see this. System dot now you want to read the value of ACC. First I have to move the cursor to what? I have to move the cursor to ACC. Once I go to ACC, then we will see how to read the value. Now field name is ACC, value is an object. First let us go to ACC. How do you go to ACC? While jp dot next token not equal to null if jp dot get text equal to is ACC, then jp dot next token. Now we are supposed to read the data in the form of public account. Then we are supposed to give ACC equal to account jp dot get no 1 minute get read value as now We are trying to get the value. Get the value as apex.type. What is apex.type? Get the value as account.class. Account.class. Get the value as account.class.
Hello, Satish. Every time we are giving the JSON string manually, or it will come dynamically also?
It is supposed to, JSON string is supposed to come dynamically. How? The data will be sent by third party system. If the third party system has to send it, you have to make a web service. Why you are learning this JSON? Because when you make a web service, people will send the data in the form of JSON. So next when you go for HTTP examples, when you get the response, you should know how to deserialize it. That is how we started with the JSON. Right? What is the actual concept? When you make a request to third party people will give you data in the form of JSON, read the data, then use it. First you should know how to read the data. That is the reason first, because every HTTP examples will give you JSON or XML. So first we are trying to understand how to read or how to create the JSON. Then when you go to HTTP, when you make a request, those people will be sending a data to you. When I want to create JSON, straight away I can take it, no. If I am creating a JSON string, why to go for this? I'll straight away take string into string name, string city. We are assuming that this data is coming from third party. Down the line, the data will come from outside. It is not static. It obviously has to be dynamic. Okay, Nama? I hope I am clear with this.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it.
Then I'm giving system.debug. Was that j.acc. So go back to the debug. So what is the data we received? What is the data we received? I hope you are good with this. So what did I do? If I want to read the data, first I move the cursor to ACC. Then move the cursor to after the ACC. ACC is the field name, value is in the next location. Move the cursor to the next location. Move the cursor to the next location. Are you getting my point? Am I clear? Am I clear with this? Am I clear? Okay. So let us take the next example. Everyone follow this. Am I clear, boss? So read the value. So
Satish?
read the value as the class. Yes.
Okay, then no. Whatever you said, this one, read the values. That is okay.
Next one. Let us go to the format. Now let us say you have the format in this way.
Satish,
Yes.
can you please explain once again previous example?
Okay. So I have 10, 20, 30, 40. Let us say the same. The example what we have given, it will be same. Let us see. Now I have array of elements. How to convert this array of elements? Array of element is also what? Object only. Array of element is also object only. So let us see this. How to read the object. JSON example. Public string. This string is coming from where? String is coming from where? Outside. Then This is the format. Now this is what key. This is the what is the value? What is the value? Array. What is the value? Array. Value is an array. When the value is an array, value is an array. Array is nothing but object. Object. Array, list, set, map, all of them are what? Objects only. This is the data what we had. So how do you deserialize it? First, system dot parser jp equal to while jp dot not equal to while jp dot next token not equal to null. You want to read the value of array of values. What is the field name? Cities. Field name is what? Cities. So if jp dot, there is cursor, current cursor. If the current cursor text value is, if the current cursor text value is, jp is referring to current cursor. If it is equal to cities, then where is the value? After the cities. Right now I am on cities. Where is the value? After the cities. So jp dot then you are supposed to read the value. How the values are there? Public string names equal to which format? I can give a array of string or I can give a list of string. Both will give the same. Both are same. Right. How are you giving? How are you getting? jp dot read value as list of string dot. If it is account, account dot class. If it is a contact, contact dot class. If it is array of element, array of elements dot class. If it is a, I can take array or list same. Right? Are you clear about this? Right? This is how we are reading the value. Everyone is good with this. Clear? So if you know the field, get the value. Value can be integer, value can be, if it is a boolean value, get value as get boolean value, get boolean value, get integer value, get decimal value, get id value, get boolean value. Are you getting my point? So this is what? Deserializing the data. This is what? Deserializing the data. Anyone has any query on this? Yes. Pardon me? See. Now the point is, sample response will be given to you. Sample response will be given to you. But every response you're getting, within that format, our classes will not be there. Now let us say, whenever somebody is giving a documentation, whenever somebody gives a web service, they will clearly specify, this is the URL, this is the format of request, this is the format of request. We are going to get the response in this format. We know the format what we are getting. But the point is, every format we are getting from third party, for that format we will not have classes. Because you are sending the data, I am not sure which attributes will be there in the data. But I know what you are sending. Are you getting my point? Now, for every attribute, for every format of data, if I create a Apex class, I can convert into Apex class. But why should I create a Apex class again? I am making a web service call to you. You are sending a data. I am not going to use it frequently. Now I am making a web service with 100 people. 100 times I will not write a class. Now I am making a request. Let us say YouTube is there. Now we have a YouTube. Now all these are the services. In each service there are number of services. You want to check how many likes are there. You want to get the videos based on the name. based on the channel, based on the private, based on the likes, based on the comments, okay, based on the category, like that. Almost 70 to 80 structures are there. Now every web service will send the data in one format. Now if you want to create a class for every format, how many classes you have to create? 70. Now I am not a YouTube. Now depends upon my requirement, I make a request to you. Now I am not having interest in creating those. I am interested in creating a logic to get the data. Now whatever the data you are sending, out of all the data, I want to take video name and ID. You are sending a lot of data. When I make a request, you are sending all this information, right? But out of every request you are sending to you, you are sending a lot of response to me. In like name, tag, ID, all these things. But out of all these response, I want to use only tag of the video and video name. Then why should I create a number of classes? Straight away I can go and take it. Previously I have given an example. This is the format. We make a web service call to third party for authentication. When you make a web service call to third party for authentication, all this data will come. But I'm not going to use all this data. I'm going to use only access token, because the access token is the session ID. You send whatever you want, but what I need out of it? Access token. Okay. When I make a request to Facebook, they may send ABC access token. When I make a request to LinkedIn, they may send XYZ access token. So I'm not interested on what is that XYZ or ABC. I'm interested on only access token. When you want a particular value or a specific value, I want to take it. Now we got this data. When you got this data, we are not interested on what is there in other things. We are only interested on list of cities. We are only interested on cities. Then why should I convert entire data? Are you getting my? Right. You asked a question, enjoy.
Sir, here we are deserializing only cities.
Again?
Here only we deserializing the cities only, the cities value.
We are deserializing the complete JSON, but only taking the, we are not converting into any specific format. We are breaking them into token, taking the token what you need. The complete deserialization, it's also deserialization. What you are doing? Converting your string in the form of tokens and using it. Serialization, but in this serialization, entire data is not converted in the form of object. We are only taking the token what we want and converting it. Entire data is not getting in the form of object. See, simple thing you are making complex. Now I made a request to you, you send me a response. Complete response you want to use, then there are two options. When you send a data to me, if I want to use, there are two formats: JSON.deserialize or JSON.createParser. If I want to deserialize, now if you are sending a response to me in this format, if I have a predefined, if I have an Apex class which is already available, if I already have a Apex class which is available to me, if I already have a class with all the attributes what you are sending, straight away go with JSON.deserialize. If I don't have this, then what should I do? Create that class. Here I straight away gave few things. If there are 70 attributes, then it takes more time for me to create all the class and understand. Then I look into it. When you're getting a response, am I going to use each and every attribute in the response? No. Then don't create the class. Straight away break them into token and use it. If you already have a class exactly in the same format of response what we are receiving, directly apply JSON.deserialize. I got a response. Whatever the response we got in the same format, we already have a class. Convert it, use it. JSON.deserialize. I am getting a response. I don't have any predefined class in the same format. Then there are two choices. One is you create a class, convert in that format. or else break them into token and use it. Now, if there are so many attributes, I am not going to use all those attributes. I want one or two values of the response. Then why to go for a class? I will break them into tokens. As simple as that. I hope everyone is clear now. Now we got a response. If you already have a class in the same format of the response, deserialize by using JSON.deserialize the class name. If you are getting a response, there is no apex class in the same format, or there is no object in the same format, then you have to create an object and convert it. Now I am looking at, boss, why to convert entire data? Because I am not going to use entire thing. I am not going to use entire response. In the response, one or two elements I am going to use. Then why to do that? Why to convert? Simply break them into token, take whatever you want. I hope you are good with this. People follow this. If you are taking entire response, create a class, convert the response in the class and use it. If you already have a class, no need to go for, okay, create parser. Straight away, deserialize. Because your work is already done. Only we need to use JSON.deserialize, JSON string comma class, it will be automatically converted. If you don't have a class, then the question. Now, okay, I hope you are good. The first point. If you are sending a response, entire response I have to use, then create a class and use it. You are sending a request, entire response we are not going to use, only few elements in the response we are going to use, then go for. Now, are you getting my point here? Am I clear? I hope you are clear when to go for it. Am I clear? Any other queries?
Then Satish, most of the time we will be using a parser only, right?
Exactly. Because when you are making a request, if you are sending a data, there is a different format. Sending authentication data, there is a different format. If you are sending a data, entire data I will be using. Now I made a request, boss, with this name, give me a list of account records. You are sending account records, I will be using entire data. I am looking for authentication information, then you will be sending a lot of data in which I will be taking only access token. Depends upon the context. Now when you are requesting, get me all the student data, the response is coming, number of students 10, these are the list of students. Are you getting my point? Now second one, look at this example. See, that decision we have to take based on the runtime requirement. There is no standard format this is used. If you say always we use a JSON, okay, parser, then why they will go for deserialization concept? They would have given only one concept called JSON parser. If only JSON parser is used, like only if deserialization is used, why the people give JSON parser? So it depends upon the dynamic context we have to decide. Let us say we are getting a response like this. Now tell me what is the format you are going to use. Now I am making a request to third party. From third party I may get response in this format. Now tell me, can I use a JSON.deserialization for this? Can I use JSON.deserialization? I cannot use. Why? Now if it is a success, I have to read the array of accounts. If it is an error, we have this format. Now, in which format of data is coming depends upon the status. Now I cannot use JSON.deserialize here. Are you getting my point? Can you use the JSON.deserialize? No, because they are not sending the same format. If you are sending the same format of data, I can have a class. I told boss, get me a list of students. Now always you are sending the response like this. Count. Or else count now. Always your response is coming like this. Now what I can do? I can create a class. I can create a class because the same format of response you are sending every time. Now if you are sending a different responses, if you are, when I make a call to Java application with same URL, with one URL, I am sending a request to Java application. If they are giving a different responses at different times, then what I will do? It is not a fixed response. It is not a fixed response. Then I have to go for JSON parser. No, whenever I am giving a request to you, you are always giving a response in a particular format. Let me give you. I told boss, I give a Java application. I told take this name, phone number, in this. Take this data, insert the record, give me the status. I told take this data, insert the data, give me the status. Now in that case, I want to give a response like this. Status. Now tell me what is the format I can use. I can take a class and use it because we are sending same response. Same response I can also send like this. Right. This is the format. When I make a request to the person, then he may send any one of the three format. Now, if I want to convert them by using JSON.deserialize, what should I do? Create three classes. How many classes I have to create? Three classes. One class for status ID code, second class for status error code, status exception code. Now, instead of creating three classes, I will go with the JSON. Right? If you are always sending the data in the above format, I will go with the class. So it depends upon what type of response they are sending. Always they are sending the same format, or the format is going to change time to time, depends upon the runtime operation. Right? If the response message is going to change, depends upon the response message is going to change, depends upon the dynamic operation or runtime operation. Then I have to go for JSON parser. I hope you are clear. I hope you are clear. Same format of response, I can go with a class and use it. I hope you are good with this. Right? Any other query from